Again with another movie review, and for today I want to be discussing a Disney movie, which is a particular genre which I never really discussed, and so I'm not going to do all the movies in one shot because it's way too much to do in one video. But I'm going to be doing really the first, well, it is the first full-length animated film, which came out in 1937, which is of course Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You can see with the glare here. Of course, this is the video version, and this came out, of course, in 1937. Of course, Disney, at that point, had already making cartoons. I mean, he already made cartoons with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck already at that point. So Disney decided to come up with an idea of showing a full-length animated film. Because at that time it was a real novel idea and novel approach. And before then, the only way people would see cartoons, naturally, because television wasn't even invented yet, was when Disney would make cartoons, and the cartoons were aired before, the movie people would go on and see. So he wanted to make an animated film that everybody could go on and see, and not be subject to a 5 to 10 minute cartoon before the main film. So he decided to make a film, an animated film. So Disney said, "Oh, which film?" I said, "Oh, let's market for kids." So of course he decides to pick just about every children's film or children's story there was, and he decided to go and pick his first choice, which was of course Snow White. Now those are, well, the Disney version, unlike the original story, which a lot of people don't know, is that the original Grimm's fairy tale, which this is what Snow White is based on, did not name any of the dwarfs. Disney took that, as dramatic license or whatever. Used the Oliver Stone line, took dramatic license, and decided to name all the dwarfs, give their own different personalities, and have each dwarf have their own little moment in this film. For those of you who don't know the story of Snow White, or those of you who don't know the story, you're going to be living in a barn or a cave or something. Snow White, of course, is a story about the Princess Snow White, who has a jealous stepmother, because Disney's always was the one who actually made the evil stepmother a norm. As a matter of fact, for Cinderella, they did a whole episode with the Brady Bunch concerning Cinderella, saying that Cal was like Cal Brady was the evil stepmother to Bobby in a particular episode. But for Snow White, it was the first one that had the so-called evil stepmother, who was supposed to be the fairest in the land, and she was concerned about her vanity. So when she always asks her magic mirror, every day, who's the fairest of the mirror on the wall? Who's the fairest one of all? And of course, the mirror will always answer, "You." And during a particular time where Snow White turns about, for some reason, they always had him to pick 16 in his fairy tale. I don't know if Disney put Swan Channel, they picked up from the actual stories. I don't know, but 16 has always used to be like the magic number in the fairy tales. So Disney says, "Oh, because when Snow White turned 16, all of a sudden she's the fairest one of them all, Snow White." So the Queen decides to go and decides to conspire to kill Snow White. And she got her huntsman, her trusty huntsman, to go and kill Snow White. And at first says, "No, I don't want to do it. The little princess. I don't want to kill her. Why should I kill her for? Because I want you to do it. Because she didn't give him, the husband, a reason. But the reason is because she's a threat to me. I want her dead." So he of course he doesn't do it, and he tells Snow White, to forgive him. So what should I forgive you for? You didn't do anything to me. He said, no, I'm under orders from the queen to kill you. She goes, what does she want to kill me for? Because she's jealous of you. She's full of just jealousy for you. So I suggest that you go away, run and hide in the woods, and live out there. And I make up a story to protect you, from the queen. And so, of course, that scene itself was pretty scary if you're a young kid, 4 or 5 year old kid, to see that particular scene with Snow White running through the woods. Now, of course, they have this. She having to stumble across this little cabin or a little house in the woods, and it happened to be the house of the 7 dwarfs. And of course, at first she thought it was children, and he sees the house. The house is not tidy. It's a mess. It's a pigsty. So she decides to clean up the house. And when the dwarfs come back, notice the house is clean. Notice there was an intruder, and they found it was Snow White. And she identifies herself. I said, "Oh, you're the princess." I said, "Yeah, I'm here because the queen wants to kill me." Excuse me the noise. There's a stupid airplane flying over my building going to LaGuardia Airport. So if you happen to hear the engine noise, sorry about that. There's nothing I can do about that. So Snow White tells the dwarfs why she was there, that she's hiding out from the queen. So the dwarfs decide to protect her. And of course, the dwarfs, Doc is supposed to be the leader. Then the Doc is the only one that doesn't have a name for his particular personality or what he does. Each one has a different name concerning to their personality. You had Happy, who's always happy. You have Bashful, who's always bashful. Yes, Sleepy, of course, is always sleepy. Yes, Sneezy, who sneezes all the time. You have, of course, Grumpy. Of course, is always grumpy. And of course, the one who doesn't really talk was Dopey. Because of course, naturally he's a dope, so they call him Dopey. And Dopey was usually there for a comic effect. He says, "Oh, how come he doesn't talk?" I said, "Because he never learned how. He never attempted before to talk." So of course they gotta laugh, and of course, a good chunk of the film is the dwarfs entertaining Snow White and Snow White entertaining them. And of course, when they have the classic song, "Someday My Prince Will Come." Of course, it was also in a way the first actual animated musical, really, because they had all these songs in it. "Someday My Prince Will Come," "Hi Ho, Hi Ho," is "Off to Work I Go," the song the dwarfs sang. So you do have all this songs in it. One of the whole boomerang don't come like years later when we're making movies like The Little Mermaid, The Lion King, and Beauty and the Beast. But for this one, they did have a couple of songs in it just to fill up the story and to stretch it out to an hour and 20-minute film. And then, of course, the queen finds out that she has been lied to, that Snow White is still alive, and where she happened to be living. So of course she just made this whole thing, which is also a great effect for an animated film. Because actually this was obviously it was like years, about like 50 or 60 years before CGI. So that's when you don't have that to really fall back on. Or there's no such thing as 3D animation then in 1937. But it did have effects that were scary, where the queen made herself into this little old lady, this little hag, and she made like a poison apple. Of course, to make the Snow White, you kill Snow White with a poison apple. And of course, she goes to the house, and all the dwarves were away in the diamond mine. And of course, the old lady tricks Snow White into eating the apple. Of course, she dies. But there's one thing that would break the spell, is when those first kiss. and it was the prince that Snow White met in the beginning of the film, and so of course it's Snow White because the dwarves will think she's dead and thinks he's dead and bury her. So of course what happens is, of course, the dwarves get there too late to save Snow White at the time, but the witch or the evil queen, she ends up dying anyway at the end. But the dwarfs, they were so in love of Snow White and so protective of Snow White, they couldn't bring themselves to bury her. But then the prince, who you met earlier in the film, found out about this girl in the glass coffin, came and decided to open up the coffin, the glass coffin, and kissed her. And of course, she walked up from the spell, and that's pretty much how the movie ended. But in the video version, which is what I have, the old VHS version, I don't know if it's on the did that in the Blu-ray version of the DVD. And I appreciate if somebody would who has the DVD copy of Snow White, please tell me that this is in that version as well. After when the prince wakes her up from her spell, she says goodbye to all the dwarfs and kisses each one, on the head one by one. And of course, the last one was, of course, Dopey. And of course, when she kisses him goodbye, he finally talked. He finally spoke. He said like wow. I believe the word he said was wow. Wow, Snow White. And all the rest of the dwarfs were stunned. They finally was able to talk. Or then he spoke his first word. But in the video here, for some reason, that was not in it. I mean, she kisses. You see her kiss all the dwarfs in the end of the film, but you didn't see Dopey's first word. Well, and they were seeing uttering his first word. So I should have put that in with my video for cutscenes from movies, but I didn't think of putting that one on this one. I'll talk about this one for some reason. I guess I forgot to mention it. But this is still one of the classic movies in the Disney catalog. Unfortunately, the last few movies that Disney has made in terms of the regular old-fashioned animated films, which is what naturally what Snow White is, and most of the films are. Most of them, I think. And from the 90s, I remember that almost every year in the 90s, Disney would crank out, because of the success of The Little Mermaid. They would crank out movies one by one during the 90s, and the more the many of them, naturally, of course, they ran out of children's stories. There's only so many children's stories in the world. They decided to make it the one one. Because The Lion King, which I may get to sometime. But that's my review for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. If you never saw this movie, you really missing. Well, of course, naturally, people are going to compare the animation in this film to the ones of later date movies I've just mentioned a minute ago. You can't compare the animation from even the 80s or the 90s to the animation back in the 30s, which was when Snow White was made. I'm not sure how long it took the Disney Studios to make Snow White. I think it took like a couple of years to even make it, because they did everything hand drawn. Of course, the technology was not there like it is now, when you crank it out a little bit faster. But even during the 80s and 90s, when they hand drawn everything, also takes about a couple of years to even make these films. Even today, with the technology today, if you hand drawn everything, it's going to take, of course, obviously longer to do it. But it is a piece of movie history that they can't duplicate today. I mean, they could try, but much easier and cheaper and faster to do it with the technology today than it was back in the 30s. But you're really missing out if you don't catch or have Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in your movie collection, especially if you are collecting Disney films. You have to start with Snow White first before any other film. So that's my review of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Please, click on the video. Please rate it. Feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. And please check out my other videos. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.